And there it is. One thing that's really cool about the portals in this world is that it actually shows you which levels you've collected the talisman in and which ones you haven't. I think that's really neat. Also, when you progress further through the game, it'll also show you how many orbs you've collected just by looking at the portals. Really helpful stuff. So now let's finally dive into this giant pond we have here. Yeah, so the underwater effects are really cool. I like how all of the colors are like a really muted blue. All the sound effects are a bit muted, and even the music is like downplayed. It reminds me a lot of the underwater effects that they had in Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, especially. Big old castle here. We can't quite enter the depths of it yet. We're about halfway there. Whoa, Squidward on a chair. But we're getting there. And oh my gosh, a big old shiny red button. I must press it. And whoop. Oh god, you again?
Spyro. Keep collecting talismans to help us defeat Ripto before he can take over Avalar. Oh, and keep collecting those orbs too. The professor thinks they will help you get back to the Dragon World.
And we finally discover the use of orbs. I mean, it's kind of hinted at the very beginning of the game, in which the professor actually uses a couple orbs to create a connection to the Dragon World. So it would only make sense that orbs would also help me get back.
I saw something shiny at the top of this wall. You could probably get it, but you'll have to learn how to climb first.
Yeah, it's like kind of a running thing in both Spyro 2 and 3, in which everyone is obsessed with shiny things. I mean, I get it, shiny things are pretty, but good god, tone it down. Also, Hunter's over there, but he doesn't really have anything important to say. He just talks about the camera a little bit. So I'll talk to him, but I'll speed it up for comedic effect.
Your game camera is currently in passive mode. This mode requires you to manually control the camera. If you like, I can change the game camera to use active mode. In active mode, the camera adjusts itself based on your movement. I actually really enjoy having to control the camera myself, because that's what I'm most used to. So the answer is no, my furry friend. Okay, I won't change it. Remember, you can change the camera mode yourself by using the options menu.
Cool. Well, not really cool. It's a pretty basic thing that I really don't care about, but, you know. Alright, so we have two options here. Give me the gem! Sunny Beach or Hurricos. Honestly, I kind of like Sunny Beach more, but I really like Hurricos' redesign. I'm going to do that first. They honestly look kind of freaky with their glasses off. Oh, what a shocking turn of events. Wait a minute. This level's called Hurricos. And right now there's a hurricane going on. It all makes so much sense. What do you want?
We've always had trouble with the gear grinders, but now they've set up force fields to separate us. If you find diodes, you can use them to turn off the force fields. I think there's a diode around here somewhere, but my eyesight isn't what it used to be.
Probably because it's being covered up by all those crazy blue sparks. You might want to see an optometrist about that, man. Get this guy. Hoo-yah! And yeah, you'll notice that in this level there's all sorts of these electronic force fields that you can't get past. They knock you back, but they don't hurt you, fortunately. And break them down. These things over here, diodes, they look like kind of light bulb type things. You just walk up and puts in the diode automatically for you. And they're kind of scattered around. I mean, their locations are scripted, so they always end up in the same area. No matter, what, like, they always show up in the same area, just like gems do. And this level also has a skill point for getting all of these windmills here, which are, for the most part, pretty easy to find. They're not too out of the way. There's a robot dude here. Ugh. Now, I'm not sure if this has been confirmed or not, but there is a bit of a theory into the diode there. Back when Insomniac developed these games, there was a theory that this big dude, this big orange dude with a wrench, and his little pet robot were kind of the precursor to Insomniac's design for Ratchet and Clank. Which, a little bit of a stretch, but I can see that happening. Like I said, I'm not sure if it has been confirmed by the original developers or not, but it would be kind of cool if it was. Get these over here. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff up there, but guess what? We can't get to there from where we are. Seeing if I miss any gems around here. I did. Look at that pretty little rainbow. Oh my god, almost looks like a double rainbow. That's not a dated meme reference at all. Yep. God, I missed a lot of gems. This is a really big area, too, so it's pretty easy to miss things. Go up here, we see Zoe, and fortunately she does not have a tutorial for us today, so we can just mosey on through. And just get all of the enemies all in one go, and also a diode. Might as well get rid of this one while we're right here. And the power-up for this level is pretty hard to miss. Go, there we go. Then there's this area over here. This windmill right here is probably the most hidden in the level, and it's not really that hidden at all, so... There you go. Like I said, easy skill point. If we go up here, there's a bit of a tunnel this way that leads to the first orb challenge of this level. And look at these purple dudes! Oh my god, they really do just vanish into thin air, don't they? Wow. Hello.
These gear grinder thieves keep taking our lightning stones. If you can replace them all and activate our generator, I'd be very grateful.
That guy pretty much just photobombed me. Good job, dude. So yeah, this challenge is a little bit tedious, but... Oh, that guy's just still over there. But you want to get rid of all these purple guys who show up throughout the level. There's 10 of them in all. And usually if you defeat one at one end, one will appear at the other one. It's kind of a big old back and forth for a little while. There's another one over there yet. And to coax them out, what you gotta do is pick up these lightning stones here, the same way that you would pick up a rock, like you would in Glimmer. Put it in between these two electric prongs, and then it just kind of sits there. It looks lovely, and it powers up the lightning generator, which is that thing over there. Oh my gosh, I keep on hearing that freaking bird! I want to play Rayman already. Let's see, usually another one would come out by now. Oh, there he is. You cannot escape from me! Actually, yes you can, son of a gun. That was embarrassing. Try it again. Where are you going? I can get you one this way. Hi. There we go. Much better. Once in a while, these guys will, take the lightning stones out and kind of run around with them. This is a little bit different than it was in the original. In the original, you had to, like, place a bunch of lightning stones first, and then a really, really annoying and obnoxious alarm would sound, letting you know that, there were thieves present, and they usually didn't come out one at a time. They came out, like, usually 2 or 3 at a time. This guy actually has a lightning stone in his hand. Oh. Please don't tell me that I actually knocked it off the edge. That would really suck. I think it came back. My gosh, how many are down here? There's 5 down here? There isn't even 5 prongs in this area. Whatever. Did this guy... Did this make this challenge a little bit more fun and a little less predictable, I guess. It's still really tedious, though. See, I saw a little shiny thing in his hand. He must have dropped it, that's what it was. He takes it out and then he drops it and then he keeps on running. That's what it is. Made me nervous for a second there. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. But I have one more left. Yes, I do. If that's the case, then I might as well pick up all the rest of these and put them in the rightful spot. I'm not sure if I'll have enough, though, since there's so many in the area down below. Yep, I need one more. And you also need one for this. Yeah! So even though you got all the thieves, this guy's not going to give you an orb until you place all the lightning stones.
Thanks for getting rid of the gear grinder thieves. Now all you have to do is replace all the lightning stones.
Will do, my obnoxiously voiced friend. I actually kind of like the voice in the original, because I'm not sure if this guy over here, like the Electrolls that are called, I'm not sure if they're voiced by Tom Kenny, but they were in the original Spyro 2, and that kind of acted as the precursor to Tom Kenny's SpongeBob voice. So I thought that was pretty cool. This guy just sounds like he's constipated. Now let's pick up the rest of these. There we go.
Thank you, Spyro. I found this shiny thing mixed up with our lightning stones. Please, take it as a reward.
I wonder what would happen if you were to place an orb in one of those prongs. Would it, like what sort of electrical capabilities does an orb have in that regard? We know that they have, like, magical powers that can, like, help people pass between realms. So what would happen if we put it in the lightning generator? Would it just explode? Who knows? I will get my top scientists on it and discover the answers stat. And we see there's a lockbox here with no key. It's just kind of sitting here. And we also have this power up, so you can probably hazard a guess as to how we opened that lockbox. And we have only one diode left to collect. And it's to get us in that room over there. Ugh. You may have a wrench, but you can't fix this! Blah. Look at that, we already have enough enemies and a diode to unlock that power-up. But first, let's go in here, really quick. Because, as you can see, this is the end of the level. Might as well get the talisman while we're here.
Spyro, you've deactivated all of the electric barriers. We've been guarding this talisman from the gear grinders. Please, take it as a reward.
And of course, their talisman is a cogwheel. Fitting, no? Alright, let's pick up the stragglers over this way. It's the sound you make when you know you're going to die! Take a life, gain a life. And the world just keeps on spinning. And I might have noticed these slightly bigger windmills that seem to be covering up switches. And they can't be broken down with your big head or with your flame attack. So what's a dragon to do? A dragon is to supercharge into them. And what do? They make these fans spin slower. Yay, I saved the day. What does this one do? This one also makes a fan spin slower. So what could be the point of this? Well, after I get this lockbox, I will help illuminate the matter further. After we get this one over here. And you can probably see that this is the last one over here. And if we break it, then it'll lead us up there. Now, this is one of the harder supercharges to get. And again, I give the advice of using the D-pad to steer, rather than the left stick. Just a hard right, and you should get it. And now we're on to the next orb challenge.
Spyro, do you see that big building over there? The gear grinders are using it to steal our electricity. Please help us by shutting down the machinery inside.
Didn't I just do something similar to this? Well, they weren't really stealing the electricity with the lightning generator. They were preventing the electricity from ever reaching it. So yes, they were stealing it, but not for themselves. They were just making sure that it didn't even, you know, wasn't even harnessed at all. So yeah, if you think about it, the gear grinders kind of have a weird, weird agenda. And also these things do have a purpose, as you just saw. Now that they're moving slower, we're able to hop and glide across them without getting shredded to bits. These jumps are kind of tricky to make. And if you thought those jumps were tricky, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Spyro, you have done well so far. You could have this little trinket for good luck. If you have any questions about shutting down the factory, just ask me.
See, that one kind of sounds like it could be Tom Kenny. All the other ones, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll IMDb this later.
Next glides get tricky. You'll have to use your hover maneuver to make them. Press the action button during a glide to hover and get extra height. Remember to press the action button when you're very close to the windmill, or you won't make it.
5-star difficulty for this one. You remember the, gliding tutorial with Hunter who says that you'll have to give this one everything you've got? Yeah, these ones are a lot harder. Wait for the perfect timing, and then make it. And if you want to speed up the process a little bit, you can also jump to the next rotor here. And then just wait. Not that one. Wait for one that's actually coming towards you, like this one right here. There we go. And then come over here. And these ones, they look like they're about level, but really, they're not. I mean, they are, but honestly, that kind of makes it harder to get to. And now we go over here. And that's how we get up here. And this should be the last windmill. Awesome. These jumps here are really stressful to make. You gotta jump out as soon as that one retracts, and then just keep on moving. And they should come out and turn.
Spyro, help! The switch to turn off the gear grinder factory is in that room, but, it's awfully noisy in there.
See, this guy's been sitting out here for who knows how long, and he doesn't dare to go into the factory because he doesn't like the loud noise. God, what a coward. I mean, yes, it is loud, and that happens, but he couldn't just walk in and do this? I guess I can't even do that. There we go. Much better.
Thanks for shutting down the factory. Here, I found this stuck between the gears. You can have it if you want.
Sweet. Also, I just realized that I didn't pick up all of the gems. Why does this keep happening to me? How many am I missing? I'm missing a fiber somewhere. Presumably a fiber. Could be 2 2s and a 1, or 2 1s and a... 3 1s and a 2. It could be a combination of gems, is what I'm trying to say. So let's go look for it. Where are you? Wait, what? Over here? Where are you pointing, Sparks? Ah, right here. Easy one to bypass, I guess. Alright, now let's get out of here. And since Sunny Beach is literally right next to where Hurricos was, I'm just gonna pick this up once I enter Sunny Beach. See you there. Oh, it's so pretty and enticing. And... gotcha! Hook, line, and sinker. Oh no, the turtles are free!
Hi,
Oh my
Spyro.
God.
It's a good thing you're here. If you can help shepherd those baby turtles over there to safety, I'd be mighty grateful.
Yeah, well, what's in it for me, old man? Oh yeah, talisman. But look at these babies, look at them! They are so cute. I love their faces. Their faces are just so well modeled, and they... God, I love them. I just want to pinch their cheeks. The way that they just flop around. I mean, the originals flopped around too, but... My god, they perfected that animation. Flame this box turtle here, and he's gonna step on that switch, and the door is open. And then the baby turtles, whenever they see an open door, they just go right for it. So they're gonna go over there. However, there's a little hidden area up this way. And this guy's just here just so we can jump on him and get up here. And yeah, these guys are annoying. They're called shock stick guys, for lack of a better phrase. They have pretty good range, so you wanna be careful of their shockies and take them out accordingly. I love what they did with the fodder in this level. These dancing starfish here, who have hard eyes. They're just so cute, which just makes me want to kill them more! Ah, yes. My lust for blood knows no end. And now that we know how to dive underwater, let's do that! Ugh. Now you might recognize these crates from the opening cutscene for this level, and we cannot open them yet, unfortunately. And we cannot save the other baby turtles that are inside. So they'll just have to, you know, suffocate for now while we do other things. These guys that are on top of the water here. And now we're introduced to this goofy bastard over here. I think this might be the only enemy in the game that requires 2 hits to take out. So you hit him once to get rid of his floaty duck thing he has around his waist. I love how the enemies attack each other. I love it so much. And you flame him again to take him out. I almost didn't want to do that because it's funny seeing them shock each other like that. It's a really clever thing that the Spyro series did, is that if there were enemies that were close to each other, once in a while they would interact with each other and usually just attack each other just for, you know, just for fun, for kicks and giggles. Really creative thing. Stuff like that also passed on to the Ratchet and Clank games. I remember there was one level in Ratchet and Clank 2, Going Commando. It was in one of the Thugs for Less level. And there were 2 thugs that were like standing right side by side. And before you got really close, you could see them... get on the button, stupid. You would see them playing rock, paper, scissors with each other. Just little things like that, just... they're really neat. Makes the game less boring, and makes even, like, the enemies that you just blindly tend to go and kick their butts. Makes the enemies themselves have, you know, so much more personality. Hello.
The water workers have captured most of our baby turtles, and the boxes they put them in are incredibly strong. With a more powerful flame attack, maybe you could break open the boxes and release them.
Yeah, maybe we could. And that's where this thing comes in. We need 11 enemies right now, we only have 9. And these boxes are scattered all throughout the level, and none of them are really particularly well hidden, but the real challenge here is getting to them quick enough before your power flame runs out. Which isn't terribly hard, honestly. And boom, look at that, we have enough enemies, but we're not going to do that quite yet. We're going to collect everything that we can down here first. Get this dude. And push this turtle all the way up. He's a bit of a slow one. My gosh, a turtle that moves slow? That's just unheard of. Science has gone too far. Then usually just waddle the rest of the way, and here we are, end of the level already. Kind of a short one.
Thank you, young dragon. The baby turtles will be safe up here. Please take this talisman as a token of our gratitude.
I feel like most of the levels in the second game are a little bit, like, have less room to roam around in compared to the first game. But I think they make up for that in just the number of tasks that you can do. Should be the last enemy. Not that really matters. And then there's this guy over here. Always lonesome.
There's a chef up at the top of this ladder who wants to make soup out of our turtles. Maybe you could climb up there and stop him?
Yeah, maybe I could if I knew how. As you can clearly see, I'm not fit for climbing. So you can't really see the character all that well, but you can tell that he has 2 orbs for you. So unfortunately, we cannot stop the chef, so the turtles are just gonna have to die. Sorry. Also, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but if so, then I totally glossed over it. There was another ladder a little while back, and pretty much all that does is, it leads you to, I think, like, 10 more gems. You know, just getting you that closer to 100%. So now that that's all done... Oh! One more enemy over here! I must kill you! Now that that's all done, we can go back and, get all of the rest of the... Well, not all of the rest, I haven't even started yet. We can get to all of the baby turtles that are trapped in the crates. Including this one over here. This one is probably the best hidden one, honestly. See, there's a switch here, which opens the door. Oh my god, it's a baby turtle! Oh, I can't go over there. However, my Super Flame has range. Bam! All done. See, this is, this Power Flame move is a little bit different than it was in the first game. In the first game... Oh my god, get it. In the first game, your flame was more powerful, but it was still the exact same range that your normal flame attack would be. In this one, it's more powerful. You can also do it from a distance, which is really cool. Helps out in some other challenges later in the game, later in the trilogy, even. There was one that was hidden down here. Oh god. Spyro, steer! Oh, I might not make it. Maybe just barely. And gotcha. Yep, and the cool thing about Power Flame is that you can even flame underwater. And it has the exact same effect. Instead of the Power Flame, it has like this blue crystal projectile thing that looks really neat. Alright, and there was a couple over here. See, that's what I mean. This ladder over here just leads to more gems. So we cannot 100% this level quite yet. Let's get these here. And pick up the gems while we're here. Yes, our Power Flame is going to run out, but... once we get the last box, we'll automatically be, transported back to the turtle who gave us the mission in the first place. So we have one left. Also, I think that might have been the last of the gems that we're able to get at this point. We should be missing 20, so let's actually see really quick. We are missing 20. Super. So the last box is right down here. Right down here. There we go. And we're done.
Most impressive. Please take this sacred thingamajig as a token of our everlasting gratitude.
That was really classy. Because I was underwater when I got the last one, you could see a few bubbles emanating from my mouth when I was in front of this guy. That's... good job, game developers. Good job. You worked out all the kinks. And since we're pretty much all done with this level for now, exit from the pause menu yet again. They are so cute! I'm so excited to be a dad, you have no idea. It's funny because he's their slave. Alright, now another thing that makes this a little bit different from the first game is the fact that, this game, it doesn't really have a set amount of levels that it has for each world. Like, I remember in the first game it had, what, 3 main worlds, a boss level, and a flight level. Here, they're kind of all over the place. This home world right here, it does have 1 flight level and 6 base levels. The next home world has 2 flight levels and 8 base levels. And the last one has 1 flight level and 4 base levels. It's just all over the place. I think the main reason why they did that was so... I've said before that the total amount of gems for each level is set at 400, and by the end of the game, once you get all of the gems, your grand total is 10,000. That might be what they were going for when they did that.
Nice work, Spyro. The orbs you're carrying have activated this special portal. You won't find a talisman in Ocean Speedway, but if you're fast, you'll get lots of treasure. Have fun!
And speaking of flight level, here it is, Ocean Speedway. We're right here. Might as well. Just throws you right into the action. And this is just like the flight levels in the original game. Pretty much the same idea, with a couple tweaks. So you can see... Oh my god, stop yelling! So you can see this has a pretty standard pattern for what you're supposed to get in what order. The rings, the arches, and just landing. Gonna have to loop around a little bit. These boats over here are kind of hard to get, especially since they're so close to the water. If you want to go for a good time, then going against their pattern, which is a kind of a figure 8, works the best. See, it kind of flubbed up there, but you should still be able to get all of them. Because these boats are kind of hard to get and so close to the water, they thankfully give you 3 seconds. And now we go on this track here to get all of these race cars. Every time you charge in a flight level, you supercharge. Go against the grain, be good at steering. You should be in the money. Just like that. Now, we usually would automatically quit these flight levels, but there's still a couple things we need to do. Every time you complete the actual time trial segment of a flight level, then a secret orb challenge will be available to you. Thing is, in all 4 flight levels in this game, they're kinda well hidden. So over here you see all of these audience members over here that are kinda losing their dang minds and need to chill out, my gosh. Hidden amongst them is this lady right here.
I guess now you think you're pretty good. Well, let's see if you're as good as the current champion.
Oh. You're on, lady.
All right, Spyro. Meet the course champion. In order to win the race, you must fly through all the rings. But beware, if Hunter flies through a ring first, the ring will start to shrink.
I ain't scared no cheetah. Yeah, if you remember, near the beginning of the game, Hunter mentions that he likes to think of himself as an athlete. In all of these speedways, they're actually called speedways in this game, not flight levels, the secret orb challenge always involves Hunter in some regard. Either you're competing against him, or he's like helping the denizens of that world. Stuff like that. But in this one, you gotta just keep close on Hunter's tail. See, all of these rings are just really haphazardly placed. And you absolutely have to follow him, otherwise you'll... And not, like, get a ring that's, like, to the side, otherwise... Like Queen Finny said, the ring that Hunter went through will start to shrink, and you'll fail the challenge. See, there is a way to actually charge ahead of Hunter, which is kind of weird. But I choose not to do that because that's, you know, kind of sequence breaking. And oh my god, the sun's in my eyes. But if you just stay on his butt, he does move a bit erratically at points, but... This is a scripted race, so... If you don't get it after the first try or two, then... Yeah, it's all good. It's not too bad. Even with this game's stiff flying controls. See, there we go. The hardest part is when you have to, like, fly straight down and then at an angle. That took me a few tries. Oh my god, shut up!
That was some excellent flying.
That legitimately freaked me out. My gosh. I know you guys are like a hyped up audience, but you need to chill. And there is one thing we have to do here. Every single flight level in the game has a skill point for getting a good enough time. And there's a certain pattern that you can go about doing that. If you get the cars right after the rings. This should lead directly to the area with the boats, I think. I've only gotten the skill point a handful of times. It is kind of a tough one to get. Oh, and then, okay. You know what, let's just give up at that point. That was kind of embarrassing. jump off right here. It'll lead you right back to the boats. Pretty sure the time we need to beat for this one is 110, if I remember right. As you can see, we aren't given any extra seconds for this because, you know, we have already beaten the time trial, so there isn't really a sense. So it actually keeps track of our time for us. So after getting that, we should be able to get it if we go through all these arches in the reverse order that we did last time. Oh yeah, we should have this in the bag. We should get a really decent time here. Bam, look at that. Now that that's done, we can leave. We can blow this popsicle stand. See, I actually almost got it the first time I did. I mean, kinda, sorta, almost. Alright, that's all done. Still got a few things to clean up over here. Now this is, I guess kind of a tricky orb to get to. See the switch right here? You can probably tell that it opens this door, but if you hit it, then it closes that one and you can't get through. Kinda weird. So what's on the other side of that door? If you look really, really quickly, you can just barely see an orb. So the way to do that is to make sure this door is closed, and then glide over to this window over here. And there you go, pretty easy. It's one of those challenges that kind of makes you think for just a second, like, what if I do this or do that? I like challenges that do that, just, like, tease your brain just for, like, a little, like, a split second. Get this, and this just leads back to the area with, Honey Beach and Shurikos. Yeah, that's totally what I meant to say. And then there's... oh my gosh. Why can't you just leave me alone?
Say, Spyro, you see this wall here? I bet you're dying to know what's on the other side.
Roger Waters?
If only I had a few more gems, I might be able to remember how to lower the wall.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not gonna pay up.
Okay, but as far as you know, the portal to Dragon Shores could be just on the other side of this wall. And there's only one way to find out. Ta-ta!
Gosh darn it, now I need to know.
Say, Spyro...
Say Moneybag, shut up and give me that things.
Ah, yes. The sparkling beauty of those gems seems to have jogged my memory.
Yeah, I bet it has. And then the wall just goes... Bleh. Oh yeah, Dragon Shores, here I come. You lied to me. And if you talk to him again...
Okay. So it's not the portal to Dragon Shores. Aquaria Towers is still a lovely place. Why, I have a home there myself.
I bet you do. And yes, that does mean that we'll encounter Moneybags yet again in this level. Yeah, you are rewarded with a bit of bonus dialogue if you say no to Moneybags, or even if you don't have enough gems when you, first encounter him. He doesn't really say all that much that's, like, really, you know, just special, I guess. But that does change in Spyro 3. If you say no to Moneybags, then he actually has some of the funnier lines in the game. Let's actually go over here really quick. Bit of a dead end, but there's more gems!
Hi, Spyro. This talisman door will only open if you have all 6 Summer Forest talismans. Once the door is open, Ripto and Crush will be waiting in the dungeon.
And if you've been keeping count, then you'll know we only have 1 talisman left to collect, and it's in this level right here. Also, there is still an area in Summer Forest that we can't get to yet because we don't know how to climb, but once we do learn how to climb, we'll be able to get 1 extra orb and 10 more gems. So let's see if we're missing 10 gems in this level right now. We're missing 11. I'll come back and get that 1 or later, that way it's easier to find. Because if I just... you know, have Sparks do this, then he's most likely pointing at the gems that we need to learn how to climb for. So we'll learn how to climb, get those gems in that orb, and then look for that last gem that's just floating around. But for now, let's go to this lovely place, as Moneybag so succinctly puts it. Come on, give him some. This is animal cruelty, I'm calling Peter. That cutscene still breaks my heart to this day.
Funny-looking guys with the shock sticks have drained all our water. We can't get it back unless someone activates the switches they're guarding.
No. This guy also has a really funny line if you talk to him again.
Those shock stick guys are tough. Yesterday, they turned Vern, our giant squid, into fried calamari.
For some reason I love that line. I mean, I love seafood, and I especially love fried calamari. But I think another reason why that line makes me laugh is because the giant squid's name is Vern, which I'm quite sure is meant to be a reference to Jules Verne, who was the author of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which, as fate would have it, also features a giant squid. So that's a nice little nod to classic literature for you. As you can see, we can drop down here, but we can't get any higher. And that's where the switch comes in. I think this is a really cool concept for a level, is that this, every time you drop one, you get one of those switches, then water just drops, and like, kind of puts the level in a different perspective. I also think that this level right here is a precursor to the Hydro Displacer puzzles that are in the first Ratchet & Clank game. One in particular. If anyone has played the first Ratchet & Clank game and remembers the snowy level called Hoven, there's a bit of a Hydro Displacer puzzle in which you have to keep on filling up one of the caves with water until you can reach the very top and get out of there. I think that's where this came from. Stop climbing onto the wall and create the illusion that you're floating. That's really weird. More of that. There's also an underwater level. This is an underwater level. An underwater area down here. Oh, come on, don't be so crabby. Don't give yourself crabs. Don't you get snippy with me. There's also this area down here with these mechanical shark dudes, which in the original are frickin' nightmare fuel. I mean, in this one, they actually look like... They still look menacing, but they also look really sleek, which I really like their design. And you can also see there's a lockbox down there, so there's more reason to go in there than just to destroy the sharks. But we unfortunately cannot do that yet. What we can do is drop more H2O. And that allows us to get to this area up here. You know what? One thing that I actually haven't tried is going back to this area to see how high the water level is now. I'm not sure if it changes. It does not change. That's honestly a little bit inconsistent, but oh well. Science is weird sometimes. It does things that we cannot explain. At least not yet. Again, I shall have my top researchers on it stat until we find out an answer. Now we go down here, and these guys right here are really annoying because the reaction time is really quick, and their range is really good, but bam, look at that. Not even a scratch. There's also a crab up here. Get him. Now we go through all that trouble to be rewarded with... this guy.
Hi, Spyro. You must be tougher than you look to get here. All the same, you won't be able to get past the metal sharks up ahead. I suppose I could let you borrow my submarine, though. For a modest fee, of course.
Now I have this theory that Moneybags was the one who let the metal sharks loose in the first place, and he's just trying to... He's essentially extorting money now. That glimmer in your teeth doesn't fool me. You could have perfect dental hygiene. I'm still not gonna trust you.
A pleasure doing business with you, Spyro. This submarine is 100% shark-proof. I guarantee it.
Thankfully, I only have to cough up 100 gems for this one. But as you get later in the game and Moneybags shows up more and more, he'll demand more gems from you. I think the highest that he charges in this game is 1,000. But it's one of the last times that you encounter him, so it's not too bad. Should have more than enough by that point. If you're, you know... if you have a good enough eye for gems, and pick up every single one that's in your path. And now, we do this. And now the entire level is underwater. Save for the area with Moneybags. Unfortunately, no, Moneybags is not going to drown. I hate to break your heart. But unfortunately, he will live to swindle another dragon. Namely me. Hello.
Our world is wet again. We all want you to have this talisman of Aquaria Towers to remember us by.
Why, thank you. What the shell is that? Alright, and there's another thing done. Now, you might have noticed that I haven't encountered anything that even equates to an orb challenge yet. And this one actually took me a little while to figure out. All of the orb challenges are up through this tunnel here. Look, it's just a whole nother big area to explore. Pretty cool, huh? You know, I know there's like a general disdain amongst gamers for underwater levels, but I think Spyro had some pretty decent ones. And Aquaria Towers isn't, like, extraordinary by any stretch of the imagination, but, you know, it's at least interesting. It at least has a really cool concept. And it is fun in spurts. There is another underwater level. It's not, like, completely underwater, but most of it is in the third game that I really, really enjoy. But we'll get to that when we get to that. For now, let's talk to the King of the Seahorses himself. The King of the Seahorses himself. There we go.
Workers have kidnapped 6 of my children and have hidden them in the top of each of these numbered towers. I borrowed some explosives to blast open the tower doors.
How do you... Wait. Okay. How do you borrow explosives? They can only be used once, so once you use them, you can't return them. So... just be real, you stole some explosives, you crazy man. Kaplooey!
If you can make it to the top of the 6 numbered towers, my children will be safe.
So, do you think that this King Flippy guy is the husband of Queen Finny that we saw in Ocean Speedway? I mean, they're both, you know, they're not both seahorses, but they're both, aquatic beings, I guess, so, you know. It's not that much of a stretch. It could happen. It could be canon. You don't know. Alright, so the numbered towers. We have to go to them in order. I noticed that some of the towers around the level have numbers printed on them, and now we can go inside. We just go to the tops of each of the towers, avoid the obstacles, and it'll blast off the door of the next one in the sequence. Now, there's only 2 in this area. We have to kind of backtrack a little bit to get to the other ones. But this is a fairly straightforward challenge. A bit time-consuming, but not too bad. Go up here, then take it a little bit slow. It's all about timing more than anything else. Then rocket your way to the top. Now, we're not going to go back down there quite yet. Might as well pick up the rest of the gems and also get the other orb challenge that's in this area. Which is courtesy of this dude right here. What's up, Hunter?
I've been trying to tame my new pet manta ray, but he just won't obey me. Hey, you're just about the right size to ride on his back.
I don't like the tone of your voice.
Great! Hop on his back and guide him through each of the bubble rings as they appear. And remember, he's brand new, so try not to get him dented or scratched up.
Love how he talks about him like he's a car rather than, you know, a living being. Now we just gotta follow this little seahorse who farts out bubble rings. Because seahorses can do that now. Read a biology book. Read a marine biology book. It's you know, it's a thing. This is a really easy one. Bam, done.
Well,
I say bam, done a lot,
I
sorry.
suppose I owe you something for that. Here, take this orb. I found it in one of my flippers.
See, Hunter gives out quite a few orbs in this game. You would think you would just give the orbs to Spyro, because, you know, he's on our side.
To race tamed, I'd love to get him into racing shape. Care to take him through a harder course?
Yeah, but no, we have to do him favors or, you know, beat him at competitive sports. He's so stingy and so stuck up.
Okay, good luck.
If you think about it, even though Hunter is a good guy, he's kind of a jerk. He finds all these orbs and keeps them for himself, even though he knows that they're this dragon's ticket home. Okay, let's just spell it out for now. Allura and Hunter are holding me hostage until I defeat Ripto. That's what it is. They're holding all of these orbs for me and won't give them to me unless I do a whole bunch of menial tasks and also go fight the big bad guy. Also, this level's done.
You've got real talent. I could use a partner like you. You can have the orb I found in my other flipper, too.
That must have been uncomfortable, dude. I mean, your feet aren't exactly small. Alright, so there's that done. Now, I'm sure we missed a few gems in this area. It is kind of big, and all these towers kind of shroud our vision once in a while. But I think we might be good. Cool. You might have also noticed that throughout the level there's these big old purple tufts of seaweed. They're actually a bit more important and special than you think. Wait, how do we get out of here? Here's the tunnel. And then we go back down. And it's not really spelled out what the power-up in this level is, because it's not really important to get any of the orbs, but it's this power flame here. And if we... Go! And if we go back around here and also get the seaweed that's right here, kind of a hidden one, then we can defeat these metal sharks down here. Yeah. The metal sharks in this level are, if you get too close to them, then it's an instant death. They just chew you right up. And also there's another seaweed down there that I destroyed. And you've probably guessed it by now, but if you destroy all of the seaweed in this level, then you get another skill point. It's kind of one that you have to go back and forth for, but this is a 100% walkthrough, so... Wait, why am I doing this again? I wanted to go over here and go up the third tower. Derp. Here we go. Tower numero 4 is right over here. Let's go. Let's vamonos. I think I made this challenge a little bit easier this time around. Because these Shockies used to appear at a much more rapid pace. They kind of dumbed down a lot of the challenges in this trilogy, I found. A lot of the ones that were, like, kind of difficult in the original are now dumbed down a bit. And some of the ones that were really easy are now overly difficult, I found. You'll find out what I mean later. Number 5 is up here, and also there's some hidden gems up near the top of this tower. I almost always forget about these, especially in races. Alright, up. There we go. Now this one's a bit crazy, because we got zappies and we also got crabs. But, just like that, we are done. And I know I've already unlocked the power up, but I love destroying things. I love killing things that are weaker than myself. It's my favorite hobby. Then we can just backtrack this way. And get to the last tower. There's also a few more things we can do in this area, but might as well get the orb first. Now this one's a little bit tricky, because you actually have to go in between these Shockies as they ride up and, like, go really slowly. And this was a lot harder in the original, because there was a much smaller gap to travel in.
Now we can swim in peace. I heard that you're collecting orbs. Please, take this one.
Yeah, better cough up the goods. Awesome. So now that's all of the orbs. So now, all we gotta do is pick up the rest of the gems and destroy the rest of the seaweed, and we can bid this place adieu. let's go make Moneybags' shark submarine obsolete. If only this power flame was available from the beginning of the level. Keeping my eyes open for any seaweed. There are some seaweed in this tunnel, if I remember right. First, let's focus on getting these sharks. See, there's one right here, and there's one over... There's actually a couple over here. Get it! My gosh, Spyro. Improve your aim. Go. Now I think all of the remaining seaweed... Ah, nice. 400. All the remaining seaweed in the level is in the area up above, which means we're gonna have to go back and forth quite a bit. Where are ya? There you are. It's a good thing these seaweeds are, you know, really stand out in the level. In the original, they were like really thin and they were green and kind of blended in with the other greens in the level. Here, they stick out like a sore thumb. And they're also bigger, and so they have a bigger hitbox. So yeah, this optional challenge is considerably easier than it was in the original, which I am totally fine with. Because this is the one skill point that I always kind of dreaded in the original, because it was just so tedious. Alright, that's done. So now we can finally get out of here, and we are just about ready to encounter the first boss. Crush. Whoops, you done goofed.